grade Eagles, Mrs. Ryan here. Today we are going to again be in our purple lesson 3 packet. Yours might not be purple, that's okay. Mine is purple. And I'm going to be, at least in my packet, I'm going to be on page 10. It's okay if your page is a different number, if you're just looking for this page right here. Because we are going to be talking about triangular prisms. Yay! So we'll need to get to this page. You'll want a calculator if possible. It's okay if you don't have one, but it's helpful. And then you'll definitely want a pencil with an eraser. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to flip the camera around. Flippy, flippy. Okay, so what we have here is a net of a triangular prism. If you could imagine, this is the base. Okay, this is the part you're not going to see if it's just sitting on a table. This is a wall that comes up this way. This is a wall that comes up this way. And then these two triangles fold up towards the center. And they are going to make a shape that's similar to these right here. So let's go ahead and start calculating the area of this triangular prism. First, it asks us to find the area of the bottom, the base section. Well, the base section is 12 by 14. So I'm just going to write 12 by 14. And 12 times 14 is going to equal 168. So the area of the bottom is 168. Now, it wants us to find the area of the front. The front. So they're calling this the front right here. Well, now we're dealing with triangles. We have to remember that the formula for the area of a triangle is area equals base times height divided by 2, or you might know it as area equals half base times height. It's going to give you the same answer. You might have one or the other that you prefer to do. I'm going to use this one in our video today. So I know that the dimensions are a 12 by 10, right? Here's the base of the triangle. You can turn it this way if you need to. The base is 12 because this is 12 and this is 10. Right? So I know that it's going to be 12 times 10. 12 times 10 is 120, right? 12 times 10 equals 120. But I have to divide my answer in half. I have to do that because we're dealing with a triangle here, right? And a triangle is half of a parallelogram or rectangle. So I'm going to divide 120 by 2. And that equals 60. So the area of the front is 60. Although I should be writing inches squared here. Oops, inches squared. Now the area of the back. Well, the back is the same as the front. So that's just going to be another 60 inches squared. They're calling this the left side and this the right side. So the left is another 12 by 14. And the right is another 12 by 14. So that's going to be 2 more 168 inches squared. Woo, mine's kind of hard to write on because I'm on this, like, the edge of the paper. And now to find the surface area, all we do is total the areas of all the faces. So we're going to add this. What are the sum of those numbers right there? So I have my handy calculator here. I'm just going to put in 168 plus 60 plus 60 plus 168 plus 168 equals 624 inches squared. I'm going to double check my work because it never hurts. 168 plus 60 plus 60 plus 168 plus 168. Oh, see, I got something different. This time I got 570. 168. What are you getting? Plus 60 plus 60 plus 168 plus 168. All right, I got 624 again. Never hurts to double check your work, right? Okay, so that's all that we're going to do for this page right here. This is just showing you the net of a triangular prism. So let's go ahead and move on. All right, I'm going to work through questions. I'm going to do 3 together with you, but I might kind of bounce around. I might try to get one of these guys that looks like a tent that went upside down. So I like to call these triangular prisms tents because they look like tents to me. You know, like you're going to go in there and sleep for the night in the woods. Okay, so we have to remember when we look at this triangular prism that there are 3 sides we cannot see. We cannot see the base, we cannot see the back, and we cannot see this side right here. So we only see this and this. That's it. We only see 2 of the 5 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's not going to be like a rectangular prism where we can just find 2 or 3 of the sides and multiply by 2. It's going to be a little bit more trickier than that. Okay? First, let's go ahead and find the area of the sides we can see. So let's start with this rectangle right here. This rectangle is a 17 by 11. So we know we just need to take 17 times 11, and that is 187. So I'm going to write 187 right here. Now I can do the front of this triangle. So this triangle is going to be base times height divided by 2. So 16 times 15 equals 240 divided by 2 equals 120. So I'm going to write 120 right here. Kind of small, but you can fit it in. Now, using these arrows, I'm going to write what the area is of the sections we can't see. So this back section is the same as the front, right? Front and back. So it's just going to be a triangle. So it's another 120. This side over here is the same as this side. So it's going to be another 187. The number that's different is the base. So I need to figure out the dimensions of the base. Well, the base is going to be 16 times 11, right? 16 times 11. And 16 times 11 is 176. So now all I need to do is add up these 5 numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to do that. 176 plus 120 plus 187 plus another 120 plus another 187. And I get 790. I am going to check my work, though, because that's the smart thing to do, just to make sure I put everything in correctly. 187 plus 120 plus 187 plus 120 plus 176 equals, I got 790 again. If it helps, you can put little check marks after you put your number into a calculator so you know you've got all the numbers. All right, let's look at number 2. Just go ahead and look at number 2 here. This is a triangular prism 2, or a tent again, and it's facing the other way. It's facing the different direction. But we still have a front. We still have a side. We can't see this side. We can't see the back. We definitely cannot see the base. So there's 5 sides still, but on this paper we only see 2 of them. Let's go ahead and go in the same order as before. So let's find the area of this rectangle right here. This is a 14 by 13. So 13 times 14 equals 182. So I'm going to put 182. Now we have this triangle right here. We know it's always base times height. Remember, on a triangle, you want to ignore those slanted lines, right? Because those are not accurate height. So the height is not 13 on this triangle. The height is 12. So we want to take 12 times 10, and we have to remember to divide it in half because it's a triangle, right? So 12 times 10 is 120. Divide that in half, and we get 60. Okay. Now we know that this triangle back here that we can't see is also 60. And then we know that the side that we can't see is also 182. So we have another 182. This base down here, though, we have to figure out this base. This base looks to be a 10 by 14, which should be 140. And I should have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, I found all the sides. So now I'm going to add them up. So I have 60 plus 182 plus another 182 plus another 60 plus 140 equals 624. This one's millimeters. 624 millimeters. And remember to square it because we're still dealing with area. And area is a 2D object. So again, I'm going to make sure that my numbers are right here. 60 plus 182 plus 182 plus 60 plus 140. Yep, 624. All right, now I'd like to do a triangular prism with you that looks a little bit different. So how about we look at number 5? This to me looks like a tent that was blown over in the wind, right? So we are actually looking at the base of the triangular prism, if you can think of it that way. So this is the base. This was the front. The back's over here. Then there's a side and another side. So we have this back that we can't see, this side that we can't see, and this underneath part that we can't see. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and draw my arrows in so I remember I need to find those 3 spots. But first, I'll focus on the 2 that we can see. So this right here is a 13 by 11, right? So 13 times 11 is going to equal 143. So this is 143. And now we have a triangle. The triangle is a 12 times 5, and then we have to divide it in 2 because it's a triangle, right? So if we don't know our 12s, 12 times 5 is 60. 60 divided by 2 is going to be 30. Okay. Well, we know there has to be a triangle on this side over here, right? Because it's like a tent that fell over. So this back side we can't see is also 30. And now we have to get these pesky sides here. Or if you want to call this one the base, you can. So this is a 12 by 11. We can't see it, but we know it's 12 by 11, right? So if we don't know that, 12 by 11 is 132. 132. Now we have to get this side over here. Well, we know that it's a 5, but what's this side? It's going to be the same as this side, right? So 5 by 11. And if we don't know what 5 by 11 is, we can put it in our calculator, or we can just put 55. And those are our numbers. You'll notice that we only have 2 numbers that are the same, and that's because these are the 2 triangles. Sometimes you'll have sides that are the same, and sometimes you'll have sides that are different. Don't assume your sides are going to be the same. It might be a lopsided triangular prism. Like maybe the person didn't put the tent up correctly, you know? So now let's add them up. 55 plus 30 plus 143 plus 30 plus 132 equals 390. I'm going to write 390 feet squared. I am going to go ahead and add them up again just to make sure I'm doing it correctly. 132 plus 30 plus 143 plus 30 plus 55. Yep, and I got 390 again. So that's what you would do to complete this page. Your teachers are going to want to see how you calculated each of the sides, including the sides that you can't see. All right, if you have any questions, just reach out. Bye, everyone.